What's happening? I'm back. With 97 subscribers, social media influencers, Hawkeye and Jeannie, testing the bounds of reality on an expedition checking out cities, communities, villages, towns, ghost towns, transportation towns, cow towns, rural towns, hotels, motels, casinos, museums, wineries, distilleries, brothels, campgrounds, internment camps, RV parks, dog parks, a dome house, a beach house, a dog beach, Timbuktu, Area 51, Death Valley, their bedroom and some other places of interest to find out what is really going on during the COVID pandemic. Just let it all hang out. Episode 116 is about one of the greatest real estate investments ever. But first, Hawkeye wants me to announce a discovery of fact and truth. It appears that YouTube has blocked episode 115 of Hawkeye's Tales and Trails from Some of the World because Hawkeye took you into his bedroom and played with his pussycat. Here in California, there is an old saying, your island, your beach, your waves, which means that YouTube makes the rules. Not much that we can do about it. 10% of our viewers are outside of the United States. We have a significant number of foreign viewers from around the world that were blocked from viewing the previous episode. Please try to copy and paste this link to view episode 115 if you were unable to view the video. Stray Cat wants to express regret to the people of Czechia, United Kingdom, British Indian Ocean Territory, Northern Mariana Islands, Dominican Republic, Andorra, Martinique, Algeria, Mali, South Africa, Nicaragua, Faroe Islands, Bulgaria, China, Cook Islands, Indonesia, Jordan, Latvia, Angola, North Korea, Herman McDonald Islands, Egypt, Ireland, Ghana, Equatorial Guinea, Eswatini, Marshall Islands, St. Lucia, Russia, Burkina Faso, Belarus, Afghanistan, Falkland Islands, Islas Malvinas, Haiti, Gibraltar, Dominica, Jersey, Comoros, Myanmar. I think that is it. Okay, let's move on. Some of the most expensive real estate anywhere in the world is at Newport Beach in Orange County, California. Balboa Island is a harborside community located in Newport Beach, accessible to the public via bridge, ferry, and several public docks. Balboa Island's Marine Avenue is home to local small businesses, including restaurants, bakeries, fishing and tackle, and local crafts. The island also has a fire station and a post office. Originally, Balboa Island was little more than a mudflat surrounded by swampland. Today's Newport Harbor emerged only after dredging millions of tons of silt. In the late 1860s, James McFadden and his brother, Robert, purchased a large portion of the future site of Newport, including the oceanfront of Newport Beach, much of Balboa Peninsula, and the sandbars that were to become Balboa Island and Newport Harbor's other islands. They immediately began subdividing and selling their property. They established a successful fishing wharf on the Balboa Peninsula and the townsite of Newport Beach. In the late 1860s, the bay was used as a landing. In September 1870, Captain Samuel S. Dunnell's steamer Vaquero ventured into the bay to offload a cargo of lumber and shingles. Captain Dunnell soon established Newport Landing by constructing a small wharf and warehouse near the west end of the present Pacific Coast Highway and Newport Bay Bridge. The McFadden brothers acquired the landing in 1875 and for the next 19 years operated a thriving commercial trade and shipping business. However, the bay was not yet a true harbor.
I'm Jay Brito, captain for the Fun Zone Boat Company, located in the Fun Zone on the Balboa Peninsula. Come see us.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it off and on about 6 years.
All right, man. Well, good job. Thank you very much.
You got it, man. Where can I watch that?
Sandbars and a treacherous bay entrance caused the McFadden brothers to move the shipping business to the oceanfront by constructing a large pier on the sand spit that would become the Balboa Peninsula. The site was ideal because a submarine canyon, carved along with Newport Bay by the ancient Santa Ana River, provided calm waters close to the shore. McFadden Wharf was completed in 1888 and was connected by rail to Santa Ana in 1891. For the next 8 years, the McFadden Wharf area was a booming commercial and shipping center. A company town began to grow. In 1899, the federal government allocated funds for major improvements to a new harbor at San Pedro, which would become Southern California's major seaport. The McFadden Wharf and Railroad was sold to the Southern Pacific Railroad that same year, signaling the end of Newport Bay as a commercial shipping center. In 1902, James McFadden sold all of his Newport property, including the Newport townsite, about half the Balboa Peninsula, the swamplands that were to become Harbor, Lido, and Balboa Islands to William Stepp Collins and C. Hansen for an amount of $50,000. The sale totaling about 900 acres. That is about $55.55 per acre. Collins and Hansen saw Newport Bay's resort and recreation potential. They took on Henry E. Huntington as a partner in the Newport Beach Company. Huntington had acquired the Pacific Electric Railway system and used it to promote new communities outside of Los Angeles. In 1905, the Pacific Electric red cars were extended to Newport. By 1906, the Pacific Electric Line red cars began servicing the Balboa Peninsula and Balboa Pavilion, and soon the red cars brought thousands of visitors from Los Angeles. Collins built a dredge and, by 1906, began dredging a channel on the north side of the bay and depositing the sand and silt on tidelands that would become Balboa Isle. Between 1902 and 1907, many of Newport Beach's waterfront communities were subdivided, including West Newport, East Newport, Bay Island, Balboa, and Balboa Isle. This established the grid system of small lots and narrow streets and alleys that still exists today. Within a few years, real estate promoters began sending salesmen to Pasadena and to Los Angeles, both connected by the red cars, to promote property in and around Newport Harbor. Much of Balboa Island property was sold in Pasadena. In 1908 and 1909, with permission of the Orange County Board of Supervisors, Collins moved his small dredge to the eastern part of the Newport Bay and began cutting a channel along the north side of the bay across from the pavilion, piling the sand and silt up on a mud flat, and thus Balboa Island was born. As Balboa Isle began to take shape, Collins launched a national advertising campaign, offering 30-foot by 85-foot inland lots for $600 and waterfront lots for $750. He used a brochure picturing an elegant, but non-existing, hotel on the Isle to help sell his lots. He also promised ferry service, electricity, paved streets, sewers, streetlights, and water. However, despite the advertisements, Collins originally sold lots on the island for as little as $25, with promises that all streets, sewers, and streetlights would soon be installed and a bridge and ferry service to follow. Construction was begun for the ferry landing. Streets were staked out and lots were mapped. Even a few narrow sidewalks were built. A low 14-inch wooden bulkhead was built along the south side of the island, and an impromptu sewer system was laid out with pipes draining onto the beaches at their low tide levels to keep the discharge out of sight. He established the still-running Balboa Ferry. Balboa Isle owners struggled for years with poor roads, flimsy sidewalks, sewers that poured directly into the bay, and a wall so inadequate that homes were regularly flooded by high tides. By 1911, discouragement permeated the island, and owners left, tired of inadequate services. Neglected homes dotted the island, and lot prices fell to as little as $325. Still optimistic, Collins held an extravagant 4th of July celebration in 1914. He distributed 8,000 brochures nationwide as well as promoting locally. He was successful, and thousands came to enjoy races, tours, food, and parades. Lots began selling again. Before long, Collins had sold 700 Balboa Island lots, establishing it as one of Newport Harbor's favorite residential and recreational areas. The island grew slowly at first, but in 1916, it became part of the city of Newport Beach. In 1918, the Balboa Island Improvement Association was started. The BIA was a motivating force in working with the city on bulkhead repair, ferry service, a sewer system, water, gas, electricity, paved streets, sidewalks, and street lighting. In those early days of 1919, water for the island came from the famous wooden water tower built on Agate Street, removed in 1929. In 1920, Park Avenue was the only paved road on the island. People had outhouses behind their houses as there was no sewer, and some buried their trash in vacant lots. In 1920, a gas utility came to the island providing heating, cooking, and lights. In 1919, Joe got the first contract for a ferry between the island and Balboa Peninsula. In 1922, Joe Beek got a 15-year franchise. That franchise has continued to this day, with 364-foot boats, named Admiral, Captain, and Commodore, that can each carry 3 vehicles. By 1921, homes were beginning to fill in the island and Balboa Peninsula. Roads to the Newport Harbor area were still largely undeveloped, and many people still arrived by rail to the peninsula and took the ferry over to the island. Although the first bridge from the mainland to the island's North Bay front was built in 1912, it was not capable of carrying automobiles until 1929, when it was refurbished. The Grand Canal wooden bulkhead and walk were rebuilt in concrete in 1929. The present-day bayfront bulkhead, walks, and public piers were completed in 1938. In 1924, the narrow bridge to Balboa Island was replaced with 2 lanes of wood. In 1929, a new concrete bridge was built and served for 51 years. The island's population grew from a little over 100 in 1929 to today's 4,500 in winter, and close to 10,000 summer renters. In 1981, the existing concrete bridge was replaced with a new, modern concrete structure with 9-foot wide walks. Balboa Island celebrated its centennial in 2016 with a parade. According to the 2000 U.S. Census, Balboa Island was one of the densest communities in Orange County. Approximately 3,000 residents live on just 0.2 square miles, giving it a population density of 17,621 person per square mile, higher than that of San Francisco. Despite having some of the country's most expensive homes, most of the dwellings are on small lots. A lot size on Balboa Island is 30 feet by 85 feet. In 2008, teardowns on interior lots of that size were going for $2 million. As times change, some of the lots are being cobbled together into 1 and 2 acres sized lots for larger homes.
Yeah, John Wayne used to live in that house.
Balboa Island is one of the most expensive real estate markets in North America, outside of Lower Manhattan. A 2-bedroom house with a water view from the living room can cost about $3 million. Lot value is $2 million. Interior new construction sells for $4 million. Bayfronts range from $3.5 million to $9 million. The perimeter of the island along the bayfront is dotted with piers for the homeowners' boats. Marine Avenue and Agate Avenue form the commercial spine of the island. Balboa Island's only bar, the Village Inn, has sat near the end of Marine Avenue for more than 80 years.
So if you want to live inexpensively in Newport Beach, it's possible. Yep, I said it. But you gotta do it here on the right in the mooring field. You gotta live on your boat. Privately owned moorings, you buy them. Floating balls of real estate. It's about $1,000 a foot, go in 30, 40, 50 foot increments. Then however much you spend on your boat. Your Craigslist, get yourself $1,000 special, slap it on there. Or splurge, get someone a couple staterooms and have a 2-bedroom floating condo. There is a catch, of course, as always. You're off the grid. It's essentially a floating trailer park. Yeah, you gotta add fresh water to your boat, be water conscious, powerful solar generators, be power conscious, pump out your holding tanks and all that fun stuff. Then you need a small boat to take your big boat. You gotta have a dinghy. And there is a public dinghy dock over there, right off the beach to the right, 15th Street, near the American Legion, post 291. The only American Legion in the country with a yacht club.
Wow. Hang on, Sloopy. All information is deemed to be reliable, however not guaranteed. Thank you for watching Hawkeye's videos. Let him know what you think. Leave a comment. Click like, click the black cat to subscribe and be notified when new episodes are available. I am the hostess of Hawkeye's Tales and Trails hard-charging pagan woman warrior queen, Califia. Adios, muchachos, ye muchachas. Catch you on down the crazy river.
I'm sorry, say again?
Oh, I said there's usually plenty of obstacles in the summertime.
Yeah, buddy.